That's a little bit overwrought. No one's talking about limiting anyone's speech. So an ex-CIA agent can get out there and say incredibly stupid things like the president is treasonous. Yes, no one's going to stop John Brennan from saying that. No one stops him from taking millions of dollars to say such horrendous things. But should he still get classified information? I mean, I would think that, if you're a soldier or you're the head of the CIA, basically you have allegiance to the commander-in-chief. The commander-in-chief makes decisions. If you don't like them, you can resign. But he's no longer in government. He should not be getting classified information. He also has a history of leaking classified information that endangered agents in the field and almost got an agent killed.
All right, so you're referring to John Brennan, and that's what you referred to originally, but you saw the White House today. They added a lot of people to that list: Susan Rice, Michael Hayden,
yes.
McCabe, Comey. And according to what they're saying now, James Comey and Andrew McCabe do not even have classified clearance. They do not have that kind of security clearance. So would you expand the list to include Michael Hayden? James Clapper, would he be on your list as well?
Yeah, I would not probably even name names. I would probably have it as a universal policy that when you leave, the only time I can think of a reason why you would want to keep this would be in a transition when you're still briefing people and you're sitting down with the next administration. I would probably just go one step beyond and not let any retired officials go on television that still have classified security clearance.
So how serious is the president about pursuing this? Because they said, they want to look into the avenues that exist to pull these clearances. What was your impression when you were in there with him about what the time frame is for making this happen and how determined he is to do it?
I think there's a great deal of resolve because I don't think we should reveal secrets to people who are calling the commander-in-chief treasonous. I don't think there's many people in America who are going to disagree with that judgment, that we would continue to give secrets to a person calling the president treasonous. So I do think that the American people are going to agree with him on this. And I would probably just go even further and say that really ex-CIA agents, once retired, should no longer have top secret clearance.
All right. In terms of, did the president, just in terms of the chicken and egg on this, was it your idea initially, or did you talk to the president about it? And, did you say, I'm going to, I'd like to bring this up, I'm going to start pursuing this?
I've been upset about John Brennan's remarks for a long time, but, I've also been upset for him from the very beginning. I filibustered originally his nomination back in 2012, 2013, so I've never been a big John Brennan fan. You remember also that John Brennan was involved with hacking into the Democrats' computers when they were doing the research into torture and waterboarding. They illegally, and he eventually apologized, not before sort of lying at first and saying that they didn't do it. But John Brennan has a very, very sketchy history of doing things and abusing power, so he needs to not be getting any information because I think he has a history of doing things for partisan reasons and also things that the CIA is not supposed to do, which is spy on senators and on their computers.
What did the president say about Brennan?
I think he's not real happy with Brennan and the others for basically, I mean, does anybody remember 5 or 10 years ago when people retired from the CIA, they might go on television, but they sort of act like statesmen. They act like retired statesmen, and they would weigh in on affairs from 60,000 feet. But you didn't have them saying, rah, 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 vote Democrat. You didn't have them calling the president words like disgusting and disgraceful.
No, absolutely not.
And so this is so over the top that something's got to be done, and these people do not need to be privy to secrets because they might be using these secrets for partisan purposes. They are nakedly partisan, and John Brennan should not get anywhere within 10,000 yards of the government. He should have a restraining order.
Wow, those are